You just got a raise of 10,000 more a year. You should feel richer, right? So why, 6 months later, are you still stressed about money, still checking your account before you buy groceries, still one surprise expense away from panic? Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody tells you: when you get promoted, getting a raise can actually make you poorer. Not broke. Poorer. And it happens to smart, hard-working people every single day without them even noticing. My name is Mike, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, financial psychology, and why some people earn more every year but somehow never get ahead. If you've ever wondered why doubling your income didn't double your savings, stick around, because today we're breaking down exactly how this trap works and how to avoid it. If this helps you see your paycheck differently, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Here's the thing about raises. We treat them like a finish line, like the moment your income goes up, your financial problems automatically go down. But money doesn't work that way. Think of your income like water filling a bucket. If the bucket has a hole in it, it doesn't matter how much water you pour in, the water level barely rises. That hole is called lifestyle inflation, and almost nobody notices it forming because it feels like upgrading, not losing. Here's exactly how the trap works, step by step. You get a raise. Let's say it's 500 more a month, after taxes. For about 2 weeks, you feel it, you have breathing room. But almost immediately, your brain starts looking for ways to deserve it. You start eating out a little more, because you can finally afford it now. You upgrade your apartment because you don't have to split it with a roommate anymore. You finance a nicer car because your credit score finally qualifies you for a better rate. None of these decisions feel reckless in the moment. Each one seems completely reasonable on its own. That's what makes this trap so dangerous. It never feels like one big mistake. It feels like 10 small upgrades that all happen to arrive at the same time your paycheck grew. Research on this phenomenon is honestly kind of brutal. Studies on lifestyle inflation consistently show that as income rises, spending rises right alongside it, often nearly dollar for dollar, while the savings rate barely moves. People making $40,000 a year and people making $90,000 a year frequently report feeling the exact same level of financial stress, because their spending scaled up just as fast as their income did. Here's where it gets psychological, and this is the part most people completely miss. A raise doesn't just change your bank balance, it changes your identity. You start seeing yourself as someone who made it, someone who no longer needs to live like they're broke. And the problem is, that identity shift happens instantly, while your actual financial security takes years to catch up. You feel rich before you actually are rich. And feeling rich is what triggers the spending. This is why lottery winners and pro athletes so famously go broke. It's not that the money wasn't real, it's that their identity updated faster than their financial foundation did. Most of us experience a smaller, slower version of the exact same thing every time we get a raise. Let's make this concrete. Say you earn $60,000 and get a 10% raise, bringing you to $66,000. That's an extra $500 a month before taxes, roughly $375 after. If you invest that $375 every month at an 8% average return, in 20 years that raise alone would be worth around $220,000. That's not your original salary, that's just the increase, quietly compounding in the background. But here's what actually happens for most people. That $375 a month gets absorbed: $150 into a nicer apartment, $100 into more takeout, $80 into a car payment upgrade, $45 into subscriptions and little things. The raise disappears completely into monthly cash flow, and 20 years later, there's nothing to show for it except a slightly nicer version of the same paycheck to paycheck life. There are 3 specific traps that catch people every single time they earn more. Trap 1, the housing upgrade. The moment income rises, people start justifying a bigger apartment or house. But housing costs don't just increase once they lock in a higher baseline for years. A $300 rent increase isn't a one-time hit. It's $3,600 a year, every year, for as long as you live there. Trap 2, the car upgrade. Nothing says I got a raise like a nicer car payment. But a car is the fastest way to convert a raise into a depreciating monthly expense. The $400 car payment funded by your raise could have been $400 invested, and over 20 years, that difference is well over $200,000. Trap 3, the subscription and convenience creep. This one's sneaky because no single purchase feels significant. Premium subscriptions, more takeout, a cleaning service, upgraded everything. Individually, these are 20 and 40 decisions. Collectively, they can quietly absorb an entire raise without you ever making one conscious choice to spend it. So how do you actually avoid this trap? There's one rule that fixes almost all of it, and it's ridiculously simple: automate half of every raise into savings or investments before you ever see it. The moment your new salary kicks in, increase your 401k contribution or automatic transfer by 50% of the raise amount immediately, the same pay period. You never see that money in your checking account, so you never build a lifestyle around it. The other half, spend guilt-free. You still get to enjoy your raise. You still get the dinner out, the small upgrade, the reward for your hard work. But half of it is quietly building your future instead of disappearing into a slightly nicer version of the same financial stress. This isn't about never upgrading your life, it's about upgrading it slower than your income grows, so the gap between what you earn and what you spend keeps widening instead of staying flat. Here's the real lesson. A raise isn't a reward you cash in, it's a fork in the road. One path leads to a nicer looking life that feels exactly as stressful as the one before it. The other path leads to actual financial freedom, funded by money you never let yourself get used to spending. The size of your paycheck was never the problem. What you do in the 30 days after it grows, that's what decides everything. Your next raise is coming. Decide right now which path you're going to take.